Good afternoon. It is July 17th and I'm here with a July garden update. So, some of the seed packets that I planted have finally sprouted and have grown quite a bit since the last time I shot a video. So we have several plant types coming up here. These are zinnias, which are now blooming, coming up really nicely. I think it's going to be beautiful in a couple of weeks with a lot of flowers coming up over here. Also from the seed packet, we have borage in bloom. That's the big blue flowers over here. They have fuzzy leaves. So all these broadleaf plants are borage. Here we have cosmos. That's the spider web looking leafed plant. And some other flowers which I think were blooming in the last video. These are calla lilies, and Veronica is the lighter pink color. I also transplanted yesterday some more calla lilies from inside. And the lilies have not grown very much. They're not much taller than the last time I filmed, so I don't know why they're stunted, but they are alive. And these are also flowers coming up from the seed packets. So we have more cosmos and some sunflowers, it looks like, over here. This is the caladium. And the gladiolus, just foliage for now. And this showstopper is the bright red, deep colored flower is cardinal flower, which is actually a native to Maryland, and we used to have some growing in the stream, but haven't seen it yet so far this year. And this, I believe, is a fungus, which looks like a vampire fungus. I'm totally making that up, but it looks like almost like blood droplets forming on the top. Hopefully he knows better than to eat this. And some echinacea in the middle, along with some other lilies. And over here on this side, we still have the lantana annuals, which I purchased, and celosia, but now from the seeds that I planted several weeks ago, we have zinnias in bloom. Here we are in the terraced vegetable garden. Most of these plants are tomatoes. There are some ripening in there, but we have not harvested any yet. Most of the peppers, unfortunately, were eaten by the groundhog. There are a few that are surviving. I think this is one here in the chicken wire netting. And there's another one over here. Let's see. This is the fish pepper plant with the variegated yellow leaves. So no one's found that one yet. A few marigolds still up there. And let's see, what else do we have? Down in this row, in those dark brown circles, those are areas which I planted sunflower seeds yesterday. So I have 24 sunflower seeds. Actually 48, because I have 2 in each hole at least. This is some bugleweed, and that is a zucchini plant which has already been mown down several times by wildlife. But I wanted to show you this row here, which has hog paneling and chicken wire reinforcement on the bottom half. So this is pretty well reinforced. Hopefully nothing will get in here. And yesterday I transplanted my asparagus seedlings. So they're hard to see. Hopefully you can make them out, but there are 9 of these plants in this section here, and hopefully they will survive and grow, and in the next couple of years, ideally we'll be able to harvest our very own asparagus. Zimmer is really hot. It is very muggy out today, so he'll be trailing along behind me. Just wanted to point out that we do still have some blueberries growing. They are pretty much finishing up. Only a few are left on some of these plants, so there's some on this one, and a few on this plant here. It was actually really nice to have a variety because each plant's blueberries ripened at different times, so really we had at least one plant producing over the past, at least one plant per week producing over the past month or two, which has been really fun. Oh, he made it. You're such a trooper. Over here in the maple tree garden, we have bronze fennel growing in a pot, and this has exploded. It has a lovely sweet scent. I'm gonna look up some recipes to cook with this because it is just doing really, really well. And the sweet woodruff is growing exponentially. I think in a few years' time it will expand to cover most of this maple tree garden. And the sedum has buds. Today I planted spooky pumpkin and Waltham butternut squash, as well as catnip seeds in these pots. He is a good sport. This garden by the patio has been fully transformed into a black-eyed Susan patch. These have self-seeded since the past 2 years when I planted seeds for the first time. And they are such a sunny yellow color. They're really, really fun, but they are quite prolific and they do crowd out some of the other plants. So I'll have to be careful about timing next year which flowers to go in here to have them come up either before or after the black-eyed Susans. We have a couple asters starting to bloom in this pot. Grandmom sent this flower to us last year, which I planted in the fall. So we should get some blooms this year. It is a perennial. And let's see what else. We have a couple of echinacea flowers in here. Mostly black-eyed Susans. The herbs are doing very well. I just weeded this area today. We had a lot of mint overgrowing the flower beds, so I just pulled that out of this half of the garden. And I planted some echinacea and hollyhock seeds. The seeds were quite old, like 10 years old, so they might not produce, but I planted a lot of them, so hopefully a few will come up. And over here you'll see some echinacea. That's Cheyenne Spirit. Same with this one over here. I planted those from seeds earlier this spring. And then in between we have lavender plants and a lot of strawberry plants which are spreading, but these are a favorite among the wildlife, so I don't think we'll have any strawberry success in this bed. Oregano is now starting to finish up. It's already flowered and going to seed, so I pruned that away from the path. The bugleweed, as always, is doing beautifully. It's such a nice plant to have in here. And the thyme is also in the flowering stage. It's actually finished flowering. And the rosemary has a lot of new growth. I'm thinking about actually making some cuttings and trying to propagate this and plant some bushes in the terrace. So stay tuned for that project. I've never propagated plants before, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. And these purple flowers belong to the sage plant. There's Simmer. So I think that pretty much wraps up the July update. I will see you next time.